Struggling to manage your time? Here is a way out with the Eisenhower Matrix. Many students feel like there are not enough hours in the day. They wake up with a long list of things to do, lectures to attend, assignments to complete, chores at home, and sometimes part-time jobs to keep up with. Yet, at the end of the day, they still feel behind. If you are a student, you may have asked yourself this question: why do I work so hard, but still struggle to keep up? The truth is that the problem is not always about working harder but about working smarter. One powerful tool that can help you is called the Eisenhower Matrix, also known as the Urgent Important Matrix. This method helps you to decide what tasks you should do first, what you should schedule for later, what you should delegate to others, and what you should stop doing altogether. By learning how to use this tool, you can save time, reduce stress, and perform better in school. As President Dwight D. Eisenhower once said, "What is important is seldom urgent, and what is urgent is seldom important." Before we continue, please remember to share, like and subscribe if you have not done so. The Eisenhower Matrix is a simple box divided into 4 parts, quadrants. Each part helps you decide how to treat a task based on whether it is urgent or important. Urgent tasks are those that need immediate attention. They are like alarms ringing in your mind. For example, finishing an assignment due tomorrow is urgent. Important tasks are those that contribute to your long-term goals and success. They may not shout for your attention right now, but they matter deeply. For example, studying daily for an exam 2 weeks away is important. The 4 quadrants of the matrix are: 1. Quadrant 1, urgent and important, do it now. 2. Quadrant 2, important but not urgent, plan and schedule it. 3. Quadrant 3, urgent but not important, delegate or limit it. 4. Quadrant 4, not urgent and not important, eliminate it. When students learn to place their tasks in these 4 quadrants, they begin to take control of their time instead of letting time control them. Quadrant 1, urgent and important, do it now. These are the tasks that you cannot postpone. They are both urgent and important. If you delay them, you may face negative consequences. Examples for students include: submitting an assignment that is due today, preparing for a test scheduled for tomorrow, solving a personal emergency, such as falling sick before a presentation. Many students spend most of their time in this quadrant because they wait until the last minute before they start working. According to research by the American Psychological Association, 70% of students regularly procrastinate, leading to stress and poor performance. If you always find yourself in this quadrant, you may feel like you are constantly putting out fires. The way to escape is to move more tasks into quadrant 2, important but not urgent, before they become emergencies. Example: a student named Amina has a term paper due in 2 weeks. She ignores it until the last day. Suddenly, it moves into quadrant 1 because it is both urgent and important. She spends the whole night writing it and submits something average. Had she planned earlier, she could have done better. Quote for reflection: by failing to prepare, you are preparing to fail. Benjamin Franklin. Quadrant 2, important but not urgent, plan it. This is the quadrant of excellence and growth. These tasks are important for your future, but they do not demand your attention immediately. Sadly, many students ignore this quadrant because they focus only on what feels urgent. Examples for students include: reading ahead before lectures, creating a revision timetable weeks before exams, exercising and eating healthy to maintain energy for studies, building good relationships with peers and teachers, Quadrant 2 is where successful students spend most of their time. By planning and scheduling these tasks, they avoid last-minute panic. Stephen Covey, author of The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, explained that high achievers focus on Quadrant 2 because it prevents crises. Example: John has an exam in 3 weeks. Instead of waiting until the last minute, he studies 1 hour each evening. When the exam comes, he feels confident and scores high marks. Meanwhile, his friend David crams all night before the exam and forgets most of what he learned. According to a study by the University of California, students who space their learning over time, Quadrant 2 practice, perform 30% better than those who cram. Quote for reflection: "An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure." Benjamin Franklin. Quadrant 3, urgent but not important, limit or delegate. These tasks look urgent but are not really important to your goals. They often come from other people's needs or distractions. If you spend too much time here, you will feel busy but achieve very little. Examples for students include answering non-essential messages during study time, attending meetings or group discussions that do not add value, doing favors for others at the cost of your own priorities. Many students confuse urgency with importance. Just because a task feels urgent does not mean it helps you succeed. Example: Sarah is revising for her exam when her roommate asks her to help design a poster for a club meeting. It feels urgent because the meeting is tomorrow, but it is not important for Sarah's academic goals. She spends 2 hours on it and loses valuable study time. The key is to learn to say no politely or delegate such tasks. Research shows that people who learn to set boundaries reduce stress and increase productivity. Quote for reflection: "The key is not to prioritize what is on your schedule, but to schedule your priorities." Stephen Covey. Quadrant 4, not urgent and not important, eliminate it. These tasks waste your time. They are neither urgent nor important, yet many students spend hours here. These are activities that give quick pleasure but steal long-term success. Examples include scrolling endlessly on social media, watching random videos for hours, playing video games excessively instead of studying, gossiping without purpose. Of course, relaxation is important, but when these activities take over your study time, they become harmful. According to a report by Statista, 2023, the average student spends over 3 hours daily on social media, which often comes at the expense of studying. Example: Daniel plans to study for his exams but ends up watching a full season of a TV show. At the end of the day, he feels guilty and stressed because he wasted time in Quadrant 4. Eliminating or reducing these activities creates space for Quadrant 2 tasks. Quote for reflection: "Lost time is never found again." Benjamin Franklin. Here are practical steps to use the matrix in your daily life. 1. Write down all your tasks, do not rely on memory. 2. Place each task into the right quadrant, ask, is it urgent? Is it important? 3. Act according to the quadrant. Quadrant 1, do it immediately. Quadrant 2, schedule it in your calendar. Quadrant 3, delegate or limit it. Quadrant 4, eliminate it. 4. Review daily or weekly. Time management is not a one-time activity. Example activity: every Sunday evening, write your weekly tasks. Place them into the matrix. For instance, Quadrant 1, submit assignment due Monday. Quadrant 2, start research for final project due in 2 weeks. Quadrant 3, reply to non-academic group chats, limit to 15 minutes. Quadrant 4, avoid random social media scrolling. Over time, you will notice that you spend less time in Quadrant 1, crisis, and Quadrant 4, waste, and more in Quadrant 2, growth. Why the Eisenhower Matrix works for students. 1. It reduces stress, because you no longer wait until the last minute. 2. It increases focus, because you know what truly matters. 3. It saves time, because you cut out distractions. 4. It improves grades, because you prepare ahead and avoid cramming. A survey by the National Survey of Student Engagement found that students who plan their time are 40% more likely to achieve higher grades than those who do not. Mary's story. Mary was always overwhelmed. She joined a time management workshop where she learned the Eisenhower Matrix. She realized that most of her stress came from Quadrant 1 crises and Quadrant 4 distractions. By moving to Quadrant 2, she began preparing early, exercising daily, and sleeping better. Her grades improved from average to top 10% of her class. Peter's story. Peter loved helping his friends but often neglected his own work. He discovered that most of their requests fell into Quadrant 3. By politely saying no, he regained control of his time. He still helped others, but not at the expense of his studies. Time is one of the most valuable resources a student has. Unlike money, you cannot get back lost time. But you can manage it wisely. The Eisenhower Matrix is not just a tool, it is a mindset. It teaches you to focus on what truly matters, avoid distractions, and live with purpose. As motivational speaker Jim Rohn once said, either you run the day or the day runs you. If you are struggling to manage your time, start today. Draw the Eisenhower Matrix, list your tasks, and place each one in its right quadrant. Practice it daily, and soon you will notice a powerful change, less stress, more focus, and greater success in your studies.